Stevie's back, but I'm going to give you the task, Ale, of explaining Borussia Dortmund.
Oh, well, thanks. Appreciate that, Kay. You're so nice. It's impossible. I think it's actually easier, and we were talking about this while we were watching the game, it's actually easier to try to explain how Bayer Leverkusen are still unbeaten this season than it is to try to explain how Borussia Dortmund makes it all the way to Champions League Final. We watch this team play every single week in and week out in Bundesliga. And while today there were a bunch of changes, and while today you may say, hey, they're thinking about the fact that they have accomplished something great in making it all the way to Champions League Final, maybe they're celebrating, so on and so forth. We just got done talking about Real Madrid, who also made a bunch of changes. And they were playing against a team that was threatening relegation. Mainz, it's also a team that's down there in the Bundesliga. So they weren't exactly playing against top opposition. And man, did you see a difference between the professionalism and just the mentality and the temperament of both clubs. You see Real Madrid easily dispatching Granada, and you see Borussia Dortmund get easily dispatched by Mainz. How does this happen? I have no idea. What I've been saying all along is that when this team does something great and they get this sort of pats in the back and support, and you're so great, you're so awesome, you're so wonderful, you're so beautiful, fantastic, great achievement, I tell you what they do. They let you down. When there is nothing to be expected out of Borussia Dortmund, which has been the run that they've been on in Champions League, they usually come up with a performance because it's not expected. There isn't that sort of level of pressure. To be fair to them, in Champions League, a completely different group of players with a completely different level of intensity, with a completely different mindset. What you see this team lose in the manner in which they did against Mainz, and it's not just Mainz. They did the same thing against Leipzig a couple of weeks ago. So it's not like I'm just picking one result and one performance. We can go over the course of the season and find these performances. You kind of go, this is not the same group. They just pick and choose when to play. And that's, at some point, that's going to get found out. Maybe Champions League finals when that happens.
How much does it matter, Stevie, in these games in between for teams when there are heavy rotations? How much does the momentum factor matter? We all talk about it a lot. Is it really that crucial?
I think when you look at the season as a whole, it clearly doesn't affect Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League. I mean, it's just a fact. The fact that they've done what they've done just tells you that what we would call an old-fashioned cup team. When it comes to a cup game, the mentality changes, the intensity changes, all of these things change. But when it comes to a run-of-the-mill league game, for some reason, there's a culture there that it's not as important. Okay. That's not right.
Well, let's take a look at how things are shaping up in the Bundesliga
No, it is not,
right
Stevie.
now.
No, it is not.
What a big weekend we've got next weekend. Obviously, Bayer Leverkusen have already sealed the deal, but they will be back in action tomorrow against Bochum to see if they can make it 50 unbeaten this season. These are the games that we've got coming up for you on Sunday. Ali and I will be with you for the coverage of that game.
Yeah!
Bochum and Leverkusen. Before
Super!
that, we'll see Bayern Munich against Wolfsburg and Darmstadt taking on Hoffenheim.